Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my everyday makeup look. I get requests all the time about all the different products that I use, and in this video, you are finally going to see everything that I have been using for the past couple months / month or so to create my everyday kind of natural glam makeup. So almost all of the products are clean beauty, non-toxic, safe for your skin, and aren't gonna have weird hidden ingredients that are not good for our bodies. I have been on a mission / journey to just clear out a lot of the stuff that I was using. I downloaded the Think Dirty app, and I also am obsessed with Young Living essential oils and other products. So I've just been on this journey to kind of detoxify my life and everything that I use, and it's been really interesting to see the stuff that I was using before. I just had no idea, but now that I'm know better, I'm trying to do better, and I've slowly been switching over all my products. Almost my entire makeup routine is non-toxic products. I still have a few that are totally conventional, probably full of toxins, who knows. At this point, I just love what I'm using, and you guys ask me all the time, so I figured it was time to show you guys a tutorial. So if you want to see how I get my natural, everyday glam look with almost all non-toxic, totally clean, safe products, just keep watching. Okay, so the very first thing that I do is apply foundation. This one is by Mineral Fusion. It is their liquid foundation, and I have the color Warm 2. So I will just kind of start to dot this onto my face. Let me grab a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I will just kind of dot this on, and then using my fingers, I just kind of blend it out first, and then I go in with a bit damp beauty blender and just completely blend the rest out. So this foundation is EWG, which is the Environmental Working Group verified, meaning it is totally safe and non-toxic, so it is a really good option, and I love this foundation. It wears really, really nicely. It's got great coverage, it's definitely a more full coverage foundation. It's got kind of a satin finish, so a skin finish, and it looks so good in pictures. I couldn't believe it when I took pictures wearing it for the first time. I was like, oh wow, my skin actually looks really, really nice in photos. So I love this foundation. It's definitely been a win. So now I have foundation on my whole face, and next I will go in with concealer. So this one is by Hint Beauty, and it is their Duet Perfecting Concealer. I have the shade Light. This again is a great non-toxic option, and I love this concealer. It is full coverage, and I like that it really brightens up my under eye, gets rid of any dark circles or redness or anything like that. So I basically just go in and I make the upside down triangle underneath of my eye with the concealer. And I also make sure that I kind of get in the creases of my eye right here, just to really brighten it up. And yeah, so I just kind of make that upside down triangle shape all the way around on the side of my nose, like so. And then I will grab my beauty blender and just blend it out. Super easy, and you will see it really brightens up that under eye area and makes it look super, super awake. And then I also, whatever excess is left over, I just kind of dab lightly on my eyelid just to cover up any redness or veins there too. This is a pretty thick concealer, so if I were to go in with it just on my lid, it would definitely crease because I have kind of hooded, somewhat hooded eyes. So you really don't need it. It's very full coverage, just a little dab on your lid is really all you need. So once I have it under both eyes, I will just take a little bit on my finger and just go down my nose just a little bit, and then put some on my forehead just to kind of highlight. And then whatever's left over my finger, I just kind of rub on my chin. And then again, my beauty blender, I take that and just blend everything out. So then I just set my under eye area, and what I use is actually a powder foundation. It's just the lightest color, the warm color. So this is from Savvy Minerals, which is actually by Young Living. They have their own makeup line. That's where I get my essential oils and a ton of non-toxic products. I'm obsessed with Young Living, and I love this to set my under eye area. So there's just like some powder in the cap. I just use this little setting brush from Real Techniques, and I will just go ahead and set that whole under eye area. It really keeps it in place all day, and it's like the finest, like softest powder. I really, really like the finish that it leaves, and it's also like the perfect color for underneath my eyes, at least for my skin tone, because it really keeps everything nice and bright. So I will just go all underneath of my eye, and then I also go on my lid to set all of that in the corner, and then I do just kind of like gently buff out like my lid area, because when I do that they don't crease at all with that concealer. So I will just kind of do that and set that whole area. Next, I will just take a setting powder. This one is also from Mineral Fusion. It is just called setting powder. It's kind of like a translucent powder, and I will just take that on like a fluffy brush. I think this is from Target. I've had it for years. And I will just go ahead and set my T-zone, especially because that's where I tend to get oily, and then sometimes I do need to reapply this because my skin just gets a little bit oily, but I usually do kind of just lightly set the rest of my face as well. And now it is time to bronze, which is like my favorite step. I absolutely love bronzer. I feel like it just totally wakes up your face and skin. So I actually use two different bronzers, which is like not really necessary, but I just like the way that it looks. So the first one that I use is another Savvy Minerals product, and this one is in the color Summer Loved, and I really like this. It's kind of more of like a chocolate brown. It's not super warm. So I like to apply this first. So like I said, I'll just use whatever's in the cap, and I actually like using a big fluffy brush for this. This bronzer isn't super dark, so I don't have to be like really precise. So I'll just get some onto my brush, and I just kind of go on my cheekbones, and then I'll also go along like my hairline up here and like my temples, and then I just kind of bring it all the way around. So yeah, just on both cheekbones and then around here, and then I will also bring it down my neck as well, just to kind of blend, because my neck doesn't totally match my face because my foundation is obviously a little bit darker, because if I matched my foundation to my skin color in the winter, it would not be pretty. I would look kind of dead, so definitely need some foundation to warm things up. And then I will go in with that second bronzer, which again is not necessary, but I just like the way that it looks. So it's actually a Bare Minerals bronzer in the color Warmth. So on like the Think Dirty app, if you look this up, sorry if like the light's changing. I do have some natural light going on in this room right now. It might be shifting a little bit. But if you look it up on the Think Dirty app, it's a 3, which is not as good as the Young Living one, because there's literally nothing in there that you'd ever need to be concerned about. Their products are super safe and non-toxic, but a 3 in my book is okay. I don't mind using it. So just the same as the other one, there's some in the cap. And for this one, since it's a lot darker and richer, I will use it on like a much more defined brush. This one is a Morphe brush, the M405. I really, really like this brush. And then I will just go in on my cheekbones and just kind of lightly chisel them out, because this, like I said, is way darker. You can see it really makes a difference. But I like layering both, because when I use just this Warmth bronzer by Bare Minerals, like I said, it's very warm. It's like a very clay color. And if I use just that, I think it's just too warm, but and if I use the other one by itself, I think it's just, it doesn't pop enough for me, and I think it's like a little bit too cool. So the mixture of the two is like money. So just like the first one, I will go in all of the same areas. So on my cheekbones, around my temples, and then on my forehead up here, and I will just blend it out really, really nicely. And then the only thing I do different with this bronzer, since it is darker, I will go along just my jawline with this one, because I already put the other bronzer on my neck. I don't really need this all the way down too. And since this is darker, it really helps kind of define my jaw and like contour it a little bit. Once I am done with bronzing, I will then go in with blush, and I have two that I really like. So the first one is, again, Savvy Minerals by Young Living, and it is in the color I Do Believe You're Blushin', and this is just like a really pretty mauvey pink color. And then the other one I actually got as like a little baby sample when I got my concealer from Hint Beauty, and this is in the color Alto Matte, and this is more of like a dark mauve purpley color. I really like both. I think today I'm gonna wear this pink one because I think it'll just look really pretty, but I really like both of those. And again, same kind of deal, I just have some in the cap. That's actually too much. So if there's like too much in the cap, I'll just take my brush and just kind of tap it off, and then it's usually better. Ooh, it's like smoking blush in here. Then I just kind of swirl it on my brush and apply it. Smile. This is always fun to do. Smile and just kind of apply it to my cheeks. And I like to blend it, like start on the apple of my cheek and blend it up towards my hairline. Okay, then I will move on to my eyes. And so what I use in the crease of my eye, I always put some kind of warm shadow. This is actually just a sample I got from Mineral Fusion when I ordered all of that stuff. And it's just their bronzer, so when I got this I was like, this is perfect for eyeshadow. So I just use it on a fluffy like goat hair brush. This is Sigma E35 I think, and I will just go up into my crease. You honestly do not need to buy like a warm eyeshadow, just use whatever bronzer you have. It's so much easier. And yeah, so I mean you could technically buy like the full-size bronzer of this, but if you wanted this exact color, but honestly just use whatever bronzer you have. So I will just kind of fluff this all around in my crease. So then I will apply a lid color, and my absolute favorite color eyeshadow to wear is like a pink shimmery eyeshadow, which might sound kind of weird. I feel like most people don't do that, but I just love the way that it looks on my skin tone and my eyes. It's just my absolute favorite. So lately I've actually been mixing two eyeshadows. These are both, again, by Savvy Minerals. This one is called Crushin', and it's like a really pretty pink color, and then I layer Residual on top, which is more of like a pinky champagne color, and they are gorgeous. I will just kind of like tap my finger in the cap to get some on my finger, obviously, and then I just go in and tap this all over my lid. So this first color, Crushin', like I said, it's like a pretty, it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, but I wouldn't really consider it very shimmery, and it's just a really pretty pink. And then when I layer the Residual on top, it really makes it pop, and it lightens it up a little bit, and it kind of gives this like pinky bronze effect, which I think is like literally the perfect shade for my eyes. I love it. If you also have blue eyes, you should try it because it is so pretty. Okay, so I just brought you guys in a little closer so you can see my eyes a little better. So this is with just the Crushin' shade on, which is like that pretty pink color, and then I have a little bit of Residual on my finger, and I'm just going to layer it right on top, and it really makes it shimmery and makes it pop so much more, and I just love the way that this looks layered together. And then I will also just put a little bit in the corner of my eye just to kind of brighten it up as well. So now I have them mixed on both lids. I just think it looks so pretty. It's like my favorite color. And then I will actually go in with some eyeliner. This is just a black matte powder. You can technically mix this with water and make like a liquid liner, but for months now I've just been using powder to do a wing liner. It's just so much easier and faster. It's obviously not as like rich and dark as if you were to use like a gel liner, but I think it works just fine, and it's also just like way more forgiving. Like if you mess it up, it's really easy to fix it. So I will take a little brush like this. This is also from Sigma. It is the E15 flat definer brush, and I've got some black shadow in the lid, and I will just kind of tap it on my brush. And then I start by just making like, you know, lining the upper rims of my eyes. And then once I do that, I will go in and create a wing. So I basically just press my brush all along my upper lash line. And this is seriously so easy. Like, it's foolproof because you're not dealing with like drawing on a wing with some kind of liquid anything. You just kind of press it and go along the natural shape of your eye. So it's really easy just to define your eyes the way that, you know, they're meant to be defined. And then for the wing, it is super easy because you literally just take this brush, follow along your bottom lash line, and just kind of like place it on your eye, and that creates like your perfect wing, and then you just kind of fill it in. So I already have some product. I want to make sure you guys can see this. I already have some product on my brush, and I just kind of go like this, just kind of stamp it down. And see, now I have that line, and then I will just kind of tilt my brush so it's, instead of going up with my lash line, it's kind of going more in this space where I can just fill it in, and I just kind of press it down and then it just starts to form a wing. Literally so easy, like you can't mess it up. And then I will just kind of go in and darken it up, just pressing my brush down just to make it as dark as I want it. And then the cool thing about liner, I used to do this with liquid too, is I will just kind of take my nail when I'm all done and I will just run it right underneath along the wing, and it drags it out just ever so slightly, and it gives you that perfect tapered wing. Like, you don't actually have to create it. If you just drag your nail, it creates it for you, and it's like the perfect taper every time. So everything that I've used up until now has been a safe, non-toxic product, but I did say in the beginning of this video that my makeup routine is almost non-toxic, but not quite. There are a few conventional products I use that are probably filled with God knows what, but you know, majority of what I use is better, which is good, I think. So basically the first product that I use that is not non-toxic, totally generic, is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. I literally can't live without this. You know, I don't know if I'll ever get rid of this. Life is all about balance, right? I think it's most important what you're using or doing most of the time. So having this in my makeup routine probably isn't gonna kill me. But basically what I do is just apply this to my lashes like a mascara. And people ask me all the time what mascara I use, which I will get to that. But I honestly don't think mascara is as important. This is what makes my lashes look the way that they do. If I don't use this, I do have long lashes, but they're very, very fine and skinny, and they don't curl very well. And I don't curl my lashes like with an eyelash curler. I just use this, and it makes my lashes so thick and voluminous, and obviously a little bit longer, and it really helps them curl up. So I will just go in and apply this like a mascara and just completely coat my lashes. And I do one on each eye, and then I actually go in and do a second coat as well. Okay, so I've got the first coat on. You can probably see that they're really starting, I don't actually know if you can really see, but they're really starting to like pop out. So then I will just go in and do a second coat. I do think that the second coat really makes a difference. It really just lengthens them even more and just kind of gets a little more volume going. But yeah, I just put it on like I would mascara. And then once I've got enough on where I feel like they're looking pretty good, I will let them dry a little bit. So I don't know if you guys can see really well on camera, but right now it looks pretty like bright white. This tube is starting to dry up a little bit, so it's not as crazy. But when they're really wet, they're like a bright white, and then as they start to dry, it turns into more of like a milky white. And that's when I put mascara on. I think the directions say to wait 30 seconds for it to dry. I don't personally think that is long enough, because if you do it too soon, you kind of lose a lot of like the lash that you've built up with the primer. And then if you wait too long until it's completely dry, they are like stiff and unforgiving, and they end up just getting really clumpy when you put mascara on. You just want it to be that perfect in between of like pliable, but also dried enough that they're gonna, you know, hold the shape that you've created. Okay, so I'm gonna let those dry. You can really see this one is still very wet. And while they're drying, I'm gonna move on to my brows. So I'm just using a spoolie brush to kind of brush them up and get them where I want them. And then I take a little eyeliner brush. This is also from Sigma. I think it says E85. I'm honestly not sure, but it's just like a little teeny tiny eyeliner brush, and that's actually what I use to fill in my brows. And I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Blonde. So again, this is a normal product. It's not a non-toxic one. I do really like it, and that's why I haven't bought anything else yet. But I wanted to ask you guys if you have any recommendations for a brow product similar to this from like any of the non-toxic beauty brands or clean beauty brands. Let me know down below, because I do want to try more. I just didn't want to spend a ton of money on a bunch of different ones if they were all not very good, just because this one is so good. So let me know what you guys like, and then I will start trying out other ones. But I will just go in with this little brush and just start filling in my brows, and I just kind of draw them on, like flick my brush just to kind of make almost like little, draw on like little hairs. And I just fill in any sparse areas, and I do kind of like to give them more shape. I've actually been growing out my brows, Actually, they're kind of pretty much, they're grown out like as much as they'll grow, as much as they will grow out now. But they used to always be a lot thinner, and I used to always keep them very clean. And finally one day I was just like, you know what, I don't like the way that they look. I think they would look better if I just let them kind of do their thing a little more and grow out and be just a little bit more messy. And I absolutely love the way that they look now. They just frame my face so much better. And I really do think it makes a difference now that they are a little more grown out. So as you can see, I'm just kind of filling in all up in the front, and I just try and make it look as, you know, real as possible, like it's normal hair. That's why I love this product, because you really can make it look very, very natural. So once I have like the shape filled in that I like, I just go back in with my spoolie and I just kind of blend it a little bit just so it's not quite as harsh. And yeah, so there's one brow filled in. Alright, so I filled in my other brow, and now my lashes are definitely ready for mascara. So what I use is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. This is one of my favorite mascaras. Again, it is not a non-toxic product. It is a totally generic, conventional one, but this is what I use. It has like a very spiky brush, and it really like gets in there and separates each lash out, which just works really well for my lashes. I feel like everyone kind of has a different favorite kind of mascara and lash brush, but yeah, so I will just kind of go in and start brushing them out. I will do a little bit of wiggling, and I really try and like get in the inner corner and like really pull them up. It really helps curl them, but the primer curls them so much because my lashes are pretty straight on their own, and then when I just kind of go in with the mascara and really get in those corners and press them up, they really hold their shape very well. So you can see, I mean, this really brushes out your lashes. It really like fans them out and separates them really well. And also the thing with mascara, I feel like you have to, I mean, you really should be replacing it. I probably get a new one like every 2-3 months max, because you need to be replacing it. And a lot of like the non-toxic mascaras out there that I've seen are really expensive, and I just like don't want to be spending that every couple months. I don't know. I feel like I would want to hoard it and not get rid of it, which is gross because you really should be replacing your mascaras often, and they also just dry out. Alright, so I've got one coat of mascara on, and I'm just going to go in, and I do like to do a quick second coat. I just think it makes them look that much more voluminous. But let me know, guys, if you have a brand or a certain mascara that you really like that is from like a clean beauty brand. I would like to know. I mean, I'm not like married to this mascara. I don't think I could ever get rid of my primer because I just absolutely love it. Like, I think that'd be the one thing that I hold on to, but like I'd be down to try some other mascaras. But yeah, so let me know if you have one you really like. Okay, so my lashes are done. They are definitely my favorite part of doing my makeup, but I did want to, I know I get questions all the time about a lash serum that I use, and I used to always use New Lash I used it for a while after I had lash extensions because they completely destroyed my lashes. They were like little tiny stubs, but I honestly don't use it anymore. I haven't used it in months. I just use that primer, which makes my lashes really like stand out. And that's really all I use. I don't use anything else, although I think I'm gonna make one, like an oily one with my essential oils, because there's like a recipe for one, but right now I do not use a lash serum. Those are the only products I use for my lashes. So then moving on to my lips, that is the very last thing, and both of these products are from Mineral Fusion. This is a lip liner in the color Graceful, and it's like the perfect dusty pink color. That's like the only ever like lip liner color that I ever really use. And then I also am going to be using a lipstick by them as well, and this is just in the color Nude. It's just like a pinky nude color. So first going to line my lips, and I do overline just a little bit. So I overline just a teeny bit on the bottom, and then overline a little bit more on the top. And then the very last step is just to pop on some lipstick. Again, I'm pretty sure all of the Mineral Fusion products, I don't know if it's every single one, I could be wrong on that, are EWG verified, so they are super safe and non-toxic. And Mineral Fusion has a ton of makeup products, like a ton. And they also have like skincare and everything like that. So yeah, I've been loving everything I got from them. But yeah, so that is the completed look. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That is how I get my everyday natural glam look with almost all non-toxic products. This is, like I said, what I do pretty much every day. If I am in a hurry and I want to just cut it down, I'll just skip the liner. I'll skip like the lid color, and I might just put on a little bit of lip liner but not even do the lipstick. But other than that, this is pretty much what I do. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you, you know, maybe got some new product recommendations. Let me know if you have like some favorite clean beauty brands. Let me know down below. I would love to check them out because this is like a whole new world that I'm discovering, and I love hearing your guys' recommendations because a lot of you are way ahead of me in this journey and know so much more about this than I do, so I would love to hear from you. But that is all I have for today. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram so we can hang out on there. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter where we are. Doesn't matter, no.